Hello, it's DMRobG and welcome to DMRobG Reacts. I'm sorry about last week, I actually lost a tooth. It was an interesting experience, but I did not get much work done because of that. So I am back. Hopefully I am able to start with 7-day-a-week uploads, with some special stuff in the middle of the week, of course. I have started Stray, and I actually hope to have a few of those videos up soon. Perhaps linked in this one. At the very least, on my YouTube channel. But for now, everyone please enjoy my reaction to The Boondocks. The story of Catcher Freeman.
In a world of unspeakable brutality,
By the
freedom had a name, and that name was Freeman. Catcher Freeman. This is the true story of the man who risked everything for justice.
Now I want everyone to watch this real quick.
And love. Savior, soldier, killer, hero. And he was your great
granddaddy.
Now with that being said, notice how absolutely, traumatized it was. This, if you think about how horrible the institution of slavery was, think about how that ad was packaged to us just now. That is how a lot of Black history is pulped and sold to us. I fail to see how pulping it and selling it in that fashion is actually in any way anything more than a cash grab. And I'm just looking at this, and hang on a second. There we go. I'm sorry. The camera got knocked loose apparently. But with that being said, I fail to see how it's anything more than a cash grab.
Of Catcher Freeman.
Come on.
When slaves were freed, they were able to go ahead and get new identities. These new identities and new names were actually chosen by the former slave themselves, and Freeman was one of the most common names because they were freed men.
I know nothing about history, but I ain't stupid. None of that story is true.
It is true. Catcher Freeman was a hero, and don't you ever forget it. Excuse me.
Always watch family legends because there's a grain of truth and a grain of lies. For example, I'm related to every single famous person alive. But that's just fact. Don't blame me. If I'm lying to you, don't blame me. Blame the family legend.
Lying. How would you know? Granddad always making up some shit about history. How come everyone we related to is somebody famous? The first nigga go to the moon, or the first nigga to pole.
So I don't think there were any African Americans on the moon. I did find Bernard Anthony Harris Jr., who was the first African American to do an actual spacewalk. He did so in 1995.
Made up Catcher Freeman. Shoot, he probably made up this whole slavery thing. What nigga
Oh,
you know
Riley,
gonna work
shut
all
the
day
fuck
in a hot beat?
I will admit, being 8, Riley has some leeway, but not that. I mean, really, that comes down to the point where how young is... And I need to check my microphone. Okay, cool. And how young is too young to learn? I personally think starting about 8 is good. Because keep in mind, you got kindergarten, 1st grade. Riley should be about 2nd grade. But I don't know. How young is too young? I want to say leave it in the comments below, but that's going to be a dumpster fire. Still, probably pretty inexcusable. I mean, I know Riley's 8. That would put him in 2nd grade. Still pretty inexcusable. I'm just trying to think of the best way to teach kids about slavery because, I mean, they're kids. They're not going to understand the concept of have yourself like law.
That's your problem. You be believing anything somebody tells you or put in a book. See, I keep my mental mind extra secure. Nothing gets in.
Oh yeah, he's
Where you
8.
going? Don't you want to hear the rest of the Catcher Freeman story?
No, I don't want to hear no more of your made-up stories.
I told you Catcher Freeman was real. That's your great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaddy.
What about when you told us your cousin integrated baseball?
He did.
At school, they said Jackie Robinson integrated baseball.
That's your 4th cousin on my uncle's side, Jackie Robinson Freeman. The Freeman is silent. Now,
On that note, I couldn't hit the space bar. I'm sorry. I tried. Anyway, on that note, there are actually many people who had their hand in the integration of baseball. Jackie Robinson is only the most famous. It's kind of like how Dr. King is held as being responsible for the civil rights movement, but the reality is that there are dozens of organizations who at the same time were going for that same goal. They laid the groundwork for Dr. King just the same way as other people laid the groundwork for Jackie Robinson, and it's a story I actually hope to go to someday. Go through and cover someday.
Catcher Freeman was the greatest black man who ever lived. He was Malcolm X, Nat Turner, and Barack Obama all rolled into one. Okay, I'm going to start this beautiful story from the beginning.
That's full of
Man, from the
bull
beginning.
crap. You don't
It
do
was the
that.
plantation of Confederate Colonel George Lynchwater, better known as Massa Colonel.
Probably made
The
you.
Shut
Lynchwater.
your ass. The
Let's
slaves
drop
were
that.
out in the fields singing songs of freedom.
Guys, what are you doing? You know you're not allowed to sing that song. Stop, guys. I'm serious. Massa's on his way.
Tobias, didn't I tell you to tell these to stop singing that damn song?
Stop singing? Oh no, Tobias told us Massa Gunner likes that song.
That's a lie.
Oh no, Massa. We feel is too dumb to lie. But you
He is hamming it up to get him in trouble, and I'm here for it. Fuck that guy.
shades, and he got that sharp sense of humor.
Oh, no, Massa Colonel.
You out here telling...
Wait, hang on, I had that backwards. Fuck that one guy trying to tell them to hush. The bootlicker, that's it.
Massa Colonel, please.
Scream.
I know you mad, but don't take it out on Poe Tobias. If you beat him, it's like you beating all of us. But with this on your part.
I will do the same
So the
damn
only
thing.
nigga I gotta beat today is Tobias, huh?
Please don't take that. That makes you work harder.
Shit,
I would do that
foreign
same
slave
damn
matches.
thing.
Maybe I'll get to bed early tonight.
Please, if you hit him and make all of us scared, make us all just want to stay here.
You know, if they'd hide the smiles and would act in pain, they would be able to sell it more, and the bootlicker would get beat more, and they'd get beaten less. God, I really hate that I have to make that distinction. Oh my God, history is horrible.
You keep hitting him because it's an example of what not to do.
Well, since you love these field so much, you can stay out here and work with them for a few days. And if I hear that song again, I'm cutting both your balls off.
You'll do it too.
You guys are real fucking assholes, you know that?
Come on, man, look on the bright side. You get to hang out here in the field with the real niggas. Ain't you sick of the white man?
You know what I'm sick of? You two black...
Fun fact, there was actually from what I understand it at least, there was actually a strong sense of jealousy toward people who worked in the house versus people who worked in the fields. Because work in the house, you were indoors, you were out of the rain, you weren't doing such back-breaking labor as you would outdoors. So this is actually fairly accurate.
The white man this, the white man that. You'll never get anywhere with that attitude.
Man, fuck that nigga. That's your mess. I don't know that.
All I'm saying is, you stop being a victim, you might be able to better your life on your own.
People actually talk like this. No matter what, people actually talk like this, and we need to face that.
Do that, I better believe it. As soon as Catcher Freeman rides through here with his brigade and cuts that cracker's head clean off, I'm out of here. You ain't never seen no nigga be gone like I'ma be gone. Tell you something, you ain't seen no ride out like me, and
The fact that he's telling him his plan, and with the full knowledge that he's a bootlicker, is a significant issue, and it will pop up later, I can guarantee it. And it's a serious mistake on his part.
a letter saying I could join Catcher Freeman brigade and ride out with that nigga.
Damn.
Shut
you
up.
Male, nigga?
That's your plan? Catcher Freeman, huh? Why not just wait for Santa Claus to take you away on his sled?
Nigga, you don't believe in Catcher Freeman?
Of course I don't. I don't believe in the Easter Bunny either.
I'm telling you, man, Catcher Freeman is real. He go around from plantation to plantation, freeing all the slaves and shit. He like 14 feet tall.
I actually wonder how accurate this is, because I know Harriet Tubman was a legend among slaves, as was numerous other people. like Frederick Jackson and John Brown. On top of that, I think it actually matters if it's regional or if it's nationwide, because I know Harriet Tubman went all through the South. She would be far more famous among the plantations than, say, the Amistad or Nat Turner. Because at this time, people relied mostly on word of mouth and telegraph, as well as post. So it was a lot easier to keep news like that from a population forced to be illiterate than it is nowadays, where everyone has the internet.
Biceps, shit crazy. He ain't just no nigga. He's super. He like a black ass Batman, if you will.
Oh my god!
Underwater.
The fact that he made a Batman reference, amazing. I know they're not going for accuracy here, and that's
How they know who Batman is?
Stop interrupting!
Thank you.
It's ridiculous. I don't even know who Batman is.
And what's your plan, house? I bet you don't even want to escape. All on mass and nuts.
Oh, I'm a...
Actually, on that note, does anyone have any sources on like folk heroes or legends that spread among the slave populations in, well, anywhere? Like, I know voodoo spread quickly through New Orleans and the surrounding slave populations of the American South.
Escape with this, okay? With my mind. I've got this. It's a play, but for the screen.
It depends on what time they are. I know slaves, especially in the American South close to the Civil War, were forced to be illiterate, and it was illegal for slaves to read because they would form rebellions with written letters that were easily hidden. Now, with that being said, the fact that he has a screenplay should be square one that he's either going to have it stolen, and let's face it, they were people, they weren't stupid, that will be stolen, or he will be simply executed for learning to read.
Screen. We in the 1800s.
I thought of a new way to display moving pictures on a screen. Of course, it's all abstract since I don't have any actual film or cameras or anything, but I'm gonna show Master Curry my screenplay.
Film was invented by accident. Like, I see what Aaron McGruder is saying here, because there are a lot of inventions stolen from African Americans and other minorities. However, the fact that he's using a camera here is actually kind of takes away his point, because, alright, so, like, the camera itself was invented in 1816. The moving picture was invented in 1886. Now, inside the big gap, there was a lot of invention with the camera itself. With the original cameras, you had to sit still for 10-15 minutes at a time, and they weren't really handy to use for motion pictures. Now, in fact, you have a lot of people taking pictures with bodies of relatives because they were so expensive. It was the only time people thought to spend that kind of money, because it was so expensive. People can only do it once in their lives. Now, the moving pictures was actually a series of cameras set side by side. Now, the cameras from 1816 that required people to sit still for 10 minutes weren't good, or weren't good for this. That particular camera they used was invented shortly before 1886. I believe shortly before 1886. That's not my forte in history, unfortunately. But what ended up happening is they strung up a series of cameras, had a horse run past each camera, slipping a tripwire, which would trigger each camera, because each camera was able to capture the horse. Now, this series of pictures was put in what's known as a zoetrope, the zoetrope is a round drum that, when viewed through a viewing glass, could produce the illusion of movement when the drum is turned. You might have seen some of these at amusement parks. The fact that he thinks he's invented a camera in at least before 1865 is laughable. Same thing with the screenplay. Screenplays, which, by the way, screenplays were actually invented for radio. It would actually be, which were invented in, I think, the 1890s, which, again, is before his time. Actually, now that I think about it, he would be better going off a theater script. He really would. Ignore the camera bit. Just say, hey, I wrote a screenplay. And in Boondocks Faction, he has this big, giant, thick ream of paper. We know it's going to get stolen, and you know he's full of shit. And I'm getting Uncle Ruckus vibes from him.
No, this could be a huge production.
You trying to get off the plantation by selling the script?
no one would pay him
These
for
folks
it.
know how to read. How you gonna sell a script, asshole? Plus, there's a writer's strike, nigga.
Yeah.
There's a
We're
writer's
gonna get
strike.
married, have kids, and live in Master's house.
So,
I ain't thinking about your nigga.
Thelma was your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother. Now, Tobias was mad in love with young Thelma.
oh, the look on her
Thelma didn't
face
want his
says it
old
all.
Uncle Tom ass. Besides, she was about to meet Catcher for the first time. Young Thelma yearned for her freedom, so one night she decided to make a run for it. Oh, but that poor little sweet girl didn't get far.
We ain't going nowhere. We ain't gonna hurt you too much. I might hurt you.
Hey, look up in the tree. It's a bird. Nope, it's Catcher Freeman. Come on.
Oh, yes. Love to see it.
Watch it. Walk behind you, Catcher. Walk behind you.
I would complain about violence and cheating. Oh my god, that was awesome.
This jumping out of trees.
Catcher Freeman was a master swordsman.
How this nigga learn all that ninja stuff? They ain't even have karate flicks back then.
Hush, boy. It was love at first sight.
You learn to defend yourself. You learn to defend yourself if you're oppressed. Trust me. I've read about it multiple times.
Was handsome. His trapezius muscles rippled through his shirt.
Trapezius
Granddad, dang, you making me uncomfortable.
Catcher Freeman was a sexy man. And old Thelma was smitten.
Hi, I'm Thelma.
My
That
name's
says a
Catcher.
lot about Riley.
Catcher Freeman.
You're Catcher Freeman? The Catcher Freeman?
You've heard of me.
Of course I've heard of you. Who has not heard of Catcher Freeman?
Where are you escaping from?
Oh, Colonel Lynchwater's. I've been there for a while, and I kind of feel like I got everything I can get out of that organization. I can read and write, so hopefully that'll look good on my resume.
I know slaves are taught in secret to read and write, but the way they're hemming it up is so Hollywood, and it's hilarious to me. It's just so over the top. Which, I mean, I've seen this episode before because, quite frankly, I viewed this episode before, and it got deleted somehow. So I'm having to react to this, but the way they're hemming it up is foreshadowing, and I love it.
Nearby. We're ready to kill Colonel Lynchwater and free all your friends and kinfolk. But we'll need your help.
Great! That's a relief, because all my friends about to be talking bad about me, like Thelma and Jane since she been free. She forgot where she came from. She don't never come around, you know.
Ah, Catcher was smitten too. That night, Thelma told the other slaves about the plan to escape with Catcher.
Let me get this straight. So the plan is, Catcher gonna come through here with his brigade, cut that cracker's head clean off, and then we gonna be free?
Sounds good.
And you're doing this in front of the snitch. What the hell? Do you fuckers not know any sort of survival skills? What the hell? You are talking in front of the snitch. At least give him false information.
Now, I know we've all had our problems with Master, but, this is murder.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, man, shut your punk ass up.
The night before the revolt,
They should have killed
Thelma
him.
snuck away to see Catcher one last time.
Here, take this. You'll know what to do with it when the time comes.
You point
Why you
things,
still
squeeze.
shackled?
You point at things, squeeze the trigger, and it makes a loud bang sound. What else is there to know?
Forget those who are still
Gun
in
safety?
bondage. Even though you'll be free soon, you must continue to be a soldier until the war is won.
But old
How the hell is he everywhere?
Tobias was hating with his punk ass. Boy, wake up!
Is it over? So Tobias betrayed them because he was jealous?
Yes, but his betrayal could not stop Catcher.
Man, I already know what happened next. First they kick in the door, find the gun.
Riley,
Yeah,
stop
of course,
it!
Master gonna
You're
smack.
going too fast! Let me build some suspense!
Here come Catcher rolling up on Master
Riley,
crib
this is
like
the cool
everything
part.
is sweet. Wait. Let me
Enjoy the
guess.
story.
It's a trap. Then Catcher gonna run straight in like a
Riley,
dozen
stop
dudes
it,
and not
Riley.
reload. And probably should have been shot like 100 times by
Riley, come on now.
Then he gonna do all that fake ass ninja stuff.
Stop
again.
it.
Man, we already know you're gonna win at the end. Just wrap it up.
All right.
Well, on that note, with that ninja stuff, you're talking about a skilled swordsman cutting through a bunch of people who have no sword skills. He's going to seem comparatively much more skilled than he actually is. Take that, Riley.
Drop it or she's dead. I'm getting out of here.
Kill him, Catcher. Do it!
Whatever.
Block the bullet with his handcuff.
You're messing up the ending.
Wonder
This is the
Woman
best
bullshit.
part.
I
You'll
love
never
it.
see this coming.
Got him.
And they live happily ever after.
Boo! That movie sucked.
Shut up!
I want my money back. Man, that ending was hella cliche, Granddad.
That's exactly how it happened.
Prove it.
How am I going to prove it? Catcher Freeman lived 150 years ago.
Did I hear somebody say something about Catcher Freeman?
God
The Catcher
damn it.
Freeman?
See, even Ruckus know about Catcher Freeman.
Cause I know about Catcher Freeman. Greatest black man who ever lived.
Did he really run around the woods like a superhero killing white people?
Hell no, Catcher Freeman ain't never do no shit like that.
Fun fact, there are actually a couple cases that's actually happened. Usually what's happened is, like, one of them, I forget his name. One of them actually was, killed a white man in self-defense. He knew he would be lynched, so he ran into the woods, telling his family to flee. This man actually hunted down members of the Ku Klux Klan as they moved to hang him. It was the most amazing story I've ever read, and I wish I knew who it was.
Asshole told you that story, boy.
Hey!
Now sit your black asses back and let old Uncle Ruckus tell you the real story of Catcher Freeman.
Alright, this is gonna be good. Full of bullshit, but good. You know the entertaining bullshit where they have, like, where each turd has, like, a different sock puppet and they recreate movie scenes? That's what this is.
Catcher Freeman. It was Catch Freeman. And he sure wasn't freeing niggas. He was catching them.
I told you you was lying.
That's not true.
Sure it is.
That
Sure
actually would
it
make
is.
a lot of sense. That actually would make a lot of sense.
See, back in slavery when the war made sense, the white man had a problem. Niggas couldn't appreciate shit, so they kept running away. Now, in his strategic brilliance,
I love
they
Huey's look.
decided who better to catch a nigga than a nigga. So they
This is actually a common theme. Like, I've seen newspaper ads that said something like, hey, beware such and such person. They will betray you. I remember reading stories about how they would use informants, treating them well and much better than their counterparts, to get them to betray secrets, slave rebellions. I know there were numerous slave rebellions that were actually stopped and cut short because there were informants among the black community. Now, there would be several reasons for this. The chief being that people were kidnapped from their homes, shoved off to a country they didn't realize, and of course some people are going to actually try and get in good with the oppressor. No shit.
and turning them into the greatest slave hunter who ever lived. Catcher Freeman retrieved over
Oh my God, he's on all fours.
human property from their respective owners during slavery.
Damn it, Ruckus, you're gonna stop this right now.
Dang, Granddad, I'm trying to hear the story.
Why is Riley like this? What the hell?
Nigga flip from tree to tree like on some old Tarzan
Why the hell do you believe this, not the other thing?
shit. Wait, bring that back. I gotta see that again.
I gotta see that again.
Look at that nigga go again.
This is crazy.
Nobody really knows why Catcher was so good at tracking runaway niggas. Some believe he has supernatural power.
Good job, boy. Give him a biscuit.
It's probably an
One legend
informant.
said Catcher could actually talk to the dog.
Could talk to the dogs. What the fuck?
Whatever his secret, didn't matter how fast
What the hell?
Oh man, this dude is off the chain.
Catcher would find them anywhere.
That nigga coded.
And I mean anywhere.
Look out, look out, look out. Oh,
What the hell?
he
It's like
came
Killer
up on
Croc.
that water like Jason. Oh, he's so gangster.
See, to understand the story of Catcher Freeman, you gotta know a little something about slaves. Now, if you think niggas is worthless and lazy today, oh, Lord help me, you should have
No,
seen them
shut
back
the
in slavery
fuck up.
days. Good old Master Colonel.
They work harder than you
plantation
ever will.
owners like him. Provided darkies all over the South with good jobs, food, housing. I'm telling you, slavery was the best thing that ever could happen to Negro kind.
Okay, first of all,
Actually, hang on. Let me look at that
No,
picnic
like
again.
him.
They are in completely wrong clothing for being slaves, for one, which is part of the erasure. And oh my God, is that Kentucky Fried Chicken? Okay, got your cornbread, got your chicken, got butter, mashed potatoes, watermelon,
Good job.
corn. So far, I'm seeing a lot of traditionally black foods.
I'm telling you, slavery was the best thing that ever could
they have far more utensils than they actually would. I think.
Okay, first of all, none of that is true. And don't trust them niggas is not a spiritual.
It's
Shut
not
your mouth
spiritual.
and learn your history, boy. Slaves sang that and many other joyful songs all day. They danced, did arts and crafts, crochet, had water balloon fights, everything except for work.
Hey, y'all!
There were hymns in the field, and I know that. But at the same time, they were hymns basically of freedom, and I believe at some point there were coded messages sent within them.
He's coming, y'all! Masters are coming! Here we come!
Look, guys, you asked me to take you in as slaves, and this is how you repay me? All you do all day is sing and jump and eat. Shit, you just stop. All right, stop it. Stop it. Stop having so much fun.
Hey, Master, won't you do me a favor and master these nuts in your mouth, nigga?
And he'd be killed.
That's enough. I've had it.
This is what I hate about history erasure, and why I need to be careful about who's telling the story, because it erases a lot of the brutality. Because Uncle Ruckus is erasing a lot of the brutality that that slavery actually had.
Time out right now.
Man, you ever notice how white people sound when they get mad?
I've had it.
Everyone's getting a timeout.
Okay, that is good. That's good because it's true.
Hey, Master, Deanda sent a message for you.
I don't know anyone named Deanda. Deanda who?
Deanda my dig,
Now, I have put up with this for long enough. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. Get to work now. Now, I'm sorry I had to speak at you so
bullshit.
sternly, but you brought it on yourself. Stop that. Slave masters have feelings, too. I just don't understand.
Yes, but they don't count.
I try so hard with y'all.
Last I says we murder that cracker.
I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't kill y'all to do a little bit of
Oh,
work.
shut up.
What's with you, We got the slavish shit hooked up just like we like it. And you
Oh,
wants to
bullshit.
fuck it up with work. Now, looks, before we kills Master, we gotta get this nigga Catcher Freeman. Even if we could escape, Catcher come get us.
But Catcher Freeman's stronger and faster than us, Percy. How's it gonna do that?
We'll use Thelma, that high yellow mulatto Jezebel hussy.
Hey, that's my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother.
No need to get emotional, Robert. I'm just reciting the historical record. Anyway, the great-great-great-great hussy in question was Thelma. And she was once again showing her disrespect for her kindly master by running away.
Get your hands off me! Don't!
What the hell? Slipping through the trees. God, he's like Tarzan.
They devised their diabolical scheme to kill kind old master.
Why are they? They're in a hall. I mean, okay. It speaks to the amount of history erasure Black history has gone through. I will admit that. They're in suits.
Catcher! Come quick to the stables!
Oh, no, don't go in there, Catcher.
Catchers don't see nothing.
Now, Catcher had never known the pleasures of the flesh before, and he was no match for the temptations of Thelma, who in the darkness of night looked even less African than she actually was.
What the fuck?
Oh, yes, Catcher!
Catcher and Thelma rolled around in a hot, sweaty, naked embrace, making passionate...
Damn, those sounds they're making.
All lies. Thelma Freeman was a saint.
Thelma was a hussy Jezebel.
Look, it was told me like this. It seems like every generation wants to think it invented something. Like bondage. Or sex. Or anything other than missionary. It's not true. Granddad might see her as pure, but this is a survival tactic right here. Also, people just have sex in general. I mean, either or. Like, I know Uncle Ruckus is full of shit, so the rest always somewhere in between.
As Catcher lay passed out after expending his manly seed,
That look. Wow. That's some good art direction right there.
Rip Catcher.
the darkies attacked. Colonel Massa's men fought
What the hell? Jeez.
bravely, but they were out.
Notice how brutal they were? They are now, and notice how they weren't brutal before, and how well dressed they were before. That's how history erasure works.
Out for the savagery of the Negro of
Damn, dude! That was violent. They're like zombies.
Only one darky, Tobias, had the decency to try and stop this madness.
Wait a minute, y'all. How's we gonna survive without Massa? We can't
Easily,
do this.
in fact.
It ain't right. It ain't right.
Thank you, Tobias. I want you to know you've always been like a son to me, except I would never, ever lay with your black jungle bunny mama.
Oh, Massa!
Kills them both.
Having known no other woman, Catcher married Thelma and lived a miserable life as a free man in Boston. And that, colored folks, is the real story of Catcher Freeman.
Ruckus, I should kick in your damn door for telling them damn
Now,
lies.
come on, you high-yelling always forgetting your place.
Get the fuck out of my house, you fat ass.
I'm telling you what, if
Fish-ass
you was my house,
motherfucker.
nigga, I burn the house down
Your
around
mama
your
should've-
black head.
Excuse me, everyone. I think we can resolve this quickly. Catcher Tobias Lynchwater,
Why did no one look this up in the first place?
better known as Catcher Freeman, was a house slave on Colonel Lynchwater's plantation. He was also Colonel Lynchwater's son, although the colonel never claimed him.
Wait, what?
That makes
What?
sense.
Massa's son? No, that can't be.
He is believed to have written the first screenplay in secret, several years before the invention of the motion picture industry.
See, if it's making a screenplay right here makes no sense whatsoever, because they will not exist for another 30 years. What he probably has is what he would have is a stage play, and for reasons I said before, having a stage play makes much more sense.
MadeUpMonkeyShit.com.
Catcher fell in love with Thelma, but Thelma wasn't looking for love. She was looking for freedom.
Boy, I can't wait to tell the white man about how you lie.
Then, on one fateful day,
Where are you going? You smell like black jelly beans.
All this is bullshit.
she knew the time for freedom had come.
Once we're in the weapons shed, we assault the house with everything we can
The
get
fact
our
that
hands on.
the fact that she's strong and intelligent enough to make a plan like this is excellent. There, like many of the stories we have or we tell are about black men, everyone ignores what black women have done for any movement whatsoever, including freeing the slaves. Harriet Tubman is the exception.
Look, I think you're all missing a really big opportunity here with my script. Now, I know most of you can't read, but I'd be happy to read it to you.
Catcher, in 1 week, we gonna kill Massa.
Well, at least let me show it to him before you kill him. Worked really hard on this.
You have 1 week.
Oh, my. You know, I should hang you for being able to read and
Yep.
write, but this is one heck of a what'd you call it? A script?
Yes, sir, Master Colonel. You got...
A script is a script, no matter if it's stage, radio, or TV. He would know what a script is.
me, right here.
Well, if you're selling, I am buying. Oh, you are gonna be a very rich man, son.
Untrue.
Bullshit.
Falsehoods and untrue.
He's stealing that.
Wait, Dad, there's something I should tell you about Thelma.
Having sold his script, Catcher promptly betrayed Thelma's rebellion. Ah. Oh, man, he sold the crew out for a script? Yo, that's a bitch-ass
Yep.
nigga.
Oh, my goodness. And when were they planning such treachery?
A week from now? 3 o'clock.
Yep, this is exactly how you do it.
You lying black bitch! That wasn't a week!
You get them both, you kill them both at once.
No, Massa! No!
That bitch can fight.
Oh my God! Oh God! Stand still, bitch!
Wait. He meant to shoot Thelma but shot Massa instead?
That makes the most sense out of both stories.
Now that's an ending.
My ending was better.
That ain't good white history.
But the script.
That's colored man history. You talking.
that moment, Catcher decided it was best to just go with the winning team.
Die, Cracker? Die? Yeah. Take that, Massa. Huh? Yeah. You want to beat up on the slaves, huh? Well, take this to your ass, motherfucker. Ha!
Oh, Catcher.
That's how I do it, baby. That's how I do it.
And so was born the legend of Catcher Freeman. Catcher and Thelma married and moved to Canada. His script was never produced. And they all lived, more or less, happily ever after.
Man, that's some old bullshit.
They both hate it. And
Hey, hold up, man. Where y'all going?
actually, in my experience, whenever I tell history between conservative and liberal, the reaction of both Granddad and Uncle Ruckus is exactly what I get. It's what no one expects. Because both sides, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I can tell, have grown up on very different tellings, which emphasized their viewpoints. When the truth comes out, both sides are disappointed. And keep in mind, this goes on the far left and the far right.
My story yet, my Catcher Freeman story better than all yours. Know what I'm saying? See, my Catcher Freeman wasn't no slave though, cause he was like, fuck that shit. I'm a real nigga. Know what I'm saying? Plus he had like 3
Riley's
hoes.
so
He had
8
just
years
no
old.
Thelma. He had all kinds of bitches, and he drove a Bentley coupe with 24s on it with machine guns and no Benz, nigga. What?
It just goes on and on. All right, for this episode, A+. I love it. It is concise. It is getting what they want to tell. And as far as the politics is concerned, I like what it's saying about how different viewpoints emphasize different things they like and ignore different things they don't like. Uncle Ruckus was ignoring the fact that Catcher Freeman killed his master. But Granddad wanted this giant, massive superhero that would leap through trees and basically act like Batman. Neither side is correct. And the fact that neither one takes the effort to go ahead and actually look up the actual history, it kind of makes a lot of sense, actually. But for now, everyone, please have fun and enjoy. Don't forget to check out my description below. And I do have an Odyssey now. And for those on Odyssey, don't forget to check out my YouTube channel below. And everyone, please have fun and enjoy.